her. I didn't know her, but you did. And that's a hard last thing to have in your minds. So I do understand how trials do re-victimize the victims. So when I look at the character of the defendant, I find the character wanting. When I look to the severity of the offense underlying this matter, I do sit in homicide court, and I can tell you on a daily basis, you don't understand why things happen. You know, almost every case, the victims come in and they want to know why. Why did it happen? Why did you have to do this? Why did you have to get to that point? And more often than not, there's no answer. We never know. It never makes sense. There's never do you walk away and say, oh, I understand why that transpired. It just doesn't happen. I can also tell you that, you know, I've read through all these letters and they talk about give us justice, right? Give us what's due. But I can't give you justice. There's no way you will walk out of here, no matter what I do today, and high five each other. There's no way you walk out of here and you say justice is served, because justice would be having Miss Robinson back to you. Justice would be having her with you for the rest of your lives. And you never get that. You know, to hear about her, she was an innocent victim. You know, she was a girl that I would hope all young ladies strive to be. You know, to hear about working 2 jobs to reach her goals, to be going on for schooling and further education, but then to hear about how much she was loved in the community by almost everyone that touched her. You know, it was interesting to go through the letters, because I got the letters that were from who I expected, you know, the mother, the father, the sister, the loved ones. I also got a letter from the real estate agent that worked with Ms. Scarborough. I got a letter from...
You're listening to News Radio WTMJ. We are listening in live to the sentencing hearing for Maxwell Anderson, the man convicted of killing and dismembering Sade Robinson. Judge Laura Crivello is giving her statement before she issues her sentencing. We'll continue to monitor it live right now on News Radio WTMJ.
The person signed it as Stargazer. In pertinent part, it says, Sade Robinson was not a torso. She was not evidence. She was a full, living, radiant human being. She had dreams, plans, and a future she was building with pride. She had people who loved her and that still love her, more than words can hold. And she had a right to live, to breathe, to laugh, to grow old. That right was stolen in a way so vile, so deliberate, that it tears at the fabric of what we call humanity. You, Maxwell Anderson, didn't just kill her. You carved her, and you discarded her like garbage. And you tried to erase her body from this earth piece by piece. And for what? Not even you had the courage to say. You sat there in court as if you were a man. You didn't snap, you planned. You didn't panic, you dismembered. And still you offer no answers, no remorse, no ounce of dignity that you stripped from her. But here's what you couldn't take. You could not mutilate her soul. You could not silence the scream of justice. You could not prevent an entire community from rising up in Sade's name. We know who she was. We know what she could have become, and we will not let your darkness define her. To the family, there are no words that can hold the weight of your pain, but I need you to know we see you. We mourn with you. We love you. You have the right to tears. You have the right to rage. You have the right to every ounce of justice this system can give. May you feel her arms in the wind. May you hear her laughter in your memories. May you know that she did not die forgotten, she died loved, and we will remember her always. Maxwell Anderson, you are not the center of this story. She is, and she will always be. Sade Robinson lives on in light, in truth, and in love, and you will be remembered only as a man who tried to destroy something beautiful, but failed. You know, I thought that was beautiful. And I think that it shows the impact that this had on the community. You know, that took time and effort and thought, and I think it put together a lot of what the community felt. So going back to what I need to look at. In formulating a proper sentence, I need to look at the character of the defendant. I need to look at the severity of the offense. You know, to take away a child is horrific. You know, you wouldn't wish that on anybody. To have a child not outlive the parents is a horrible thing. But not only did you extinguish her life, but you hid it, and you hid her body to be found. And I can only imagine every time a news report, every time something clicked that another body part was found, how it had to just re-victimize this family, how it had to just be like another shot to their soul. I can't imagine how horrific that had to be. And yet, I wonder which was worse, the not knowing in those first days where she was, you know. I can't even think of a word, horrific. It's beyond imaginable for a parent to think of not being able to know if your children are dead or alive, and then to learn that they were dismembered and disgraced to the extent that this poor girl, her body endured. Is beyond understanding. So the severity of the offense, I'll agree. It's definitely at the top of some of the worst homicides introduced during the course of the trial. There is no explanation that I've heard that's valid as to why you would be walking away from that burning car. You know, those photos were not of a girl in a video enjoying life. Those photos of you grasping the breast that was ultimately shaved from her body, with her face plastered into that, I don't recall if it was the ottoman at the couch, the way that her body was positioned, there's no explanation for that. I don't need to rehash the evidence. I've gone through all my notes from this trial, and I think that Attorney Vance Cruzan did a nice job of summarizing and put in part the details. But there's no answer that you briefly provided in this pre-sentence that makes even a hint, that even resonates with a hint of truth. So how do we protect society from a man who clearly has had darkness in his past, who engaged in behavior that is, it's the facts that you see written in horror novels. That's what we have to determine. And you know, it isn't easy. I can tell you that when you think about, is there ever something redeemable in a person? You'd like to say at some point there is. And I can tell you that at the points in life where I've come to the conclusion that there isn't anything redeemable, you know, you do think about, I think it takes away a little piece of my soul. How come I couldn't find anything good? How come I can't find anything that I can say at some point you'll be a better person? So ultimately at sentencing, considering the seriousness of the offense, your character, and the needs of society. This is clearly not a probation case. Probation would unduly depreciate the seriousness of the offense and isn't even allowable under our law. You are sentenced to a term of life imprisonment, and that is what the penalty is for a jury of your peers ultimately coming back and convicting you on first-degree intentional. In this case, I didn't see a restitution request.
We are asking for a restitution hearing, and we've pre-selected a date.
Thank you. We'll be setting restitution off to be determined at a later date. Relative to this matter, I have considered the seriousness of the offense. I have weighed your character, and as I've indicated, I find it wanting. I've also reflected on the needs of society, and are you a good risk? And sadly, you're not. As to my sentence, relative to the nature of the offense, you are not eligible for challenge incarceration. You're clearly not eligible for any substance abuse programming. Restitution will be determined at a later date. You do need to submit a biological specimen to the state crime lab and pay the surcharge thereof. You do have the right to appeal, and if indigent, you have the right to the assistance of the public defender. What you need to understand is that a notice of intent to pursue post-conviction relief must be filed in the trial court within 20 days after sentencing for your rights to be preserved. You have been convicted of a felony. You may never possess a firearm. If you do, you're looking at 10 years of imprisonment, a $25,000 fine, or both. You may not possess body armor at any time in the future. If you do, you'll be subject to 15 years of imprisonment, a $50,000 fine, or both. You cannot vote in any election. I'm going to waive all non-mandatory fees, costs, and assessments. I'm ultimately going to want payment for restitution first and foremost. So we're going to determine that on a later date. But due to that, I'm not imposing any fine.
You're learning, or just hearing now, breaking news on News Radio WTMJ. Judge Laura Crivello is now sentencing Maxwell Anderson to life in prison without the eligibility for parole in the death of Sade Robinson. She says he's not a good risk. Her comments came about 25 minutes after Maxwell Anderson himself addressed the court, saying that he is innocent and saying that he was going to appeal. Maxwell Anderson going to jail for the rest of his life without eligibility for parole. It's 10:13. We're late for Point Taken here on WTMJ. We'll go to it next.
Broadcasting live from the Bank 59 studios for the Wisconsin State Fair. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
And good morning. Welcome. We're broadcasting live, from the Wisconsin State Fair. We are in the Bank 59 studios, and we got a full house. Kristin Brey is to my immediate right. We got Bill McCoshen straight ahead. To my left is the always good-looking Joe Zepecki. We just heard that verdict.
And some visitors outside.
Yeah, we got some visitors. Thanks to all the folks who stopped by.
The vibe's a little different when you start at 10 instead of 9
It
like
totally
we used
is.
to. It's
Like,
a whole new
we
world.
can have a corn dog on this show.
Yeah, so we're going to sort of reshuffle the deck here because we're used to starting at 10 o'clock. I think we'll start with this one. Kristin obviously is alongside as well. She always is. When you look at what we talk about every week, this is one of those stories that's not going to go away. It's obviously been, the Middle East has been a source of tension and violence and conflict for millennia. More recently now, we've had the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas, and the discussion of what happens in that piece of land. I guess I'll start with you, Joe. We have seen images lately that are shocking, horrifying. I wonder if at some point we will not reach, and maybe we've already reached it, where minds are changed on both sides of the aisle related to what's happening on the ground in Gaza.
Minds are changing. I would say this has been a seismic week in the Middle East and what happens going forward.
Well, hold on. I think we got to make sure all mics are on. Can you hear us?
There we go.
Are we good now?
I was wondering why that was sounding funny. There we go.
All right.
Wasn't me, Joe. I didn't silence you, brother.
I think this was a seismic week in the Middle East. And the most important story is the potential for famine on the Gaza Strip. The Palestinians they need food, and they need it now. And you see legislators like Mark Kelly trying to free up hundreds of millions of packages of food that are sitting in warehouses. It's just a question of getting the aid to people. That has to happen. And in the broader scope of history, we are seeing big changes. France, I believe, became the first G8 country to recognize a Palestinian state this week. The United Kingdom is poised to do that. That is the global evolution on this. Closer to home, and certainly the politics on the left, a majority of Democratic senators for the first time voted to halt an arms package for Israel, trying to use our relationship with that country as leverage to try to get the Netanyahu government to let the up to 6,000 aid trucks that are currently barred from entering and providing that humanitarian assistance to folks. This is the kind of stuff that is hard to sometimes see as it's happening, but this is a potentially very big week in terms of the relationship between Israel and Palestine and the rest of the world and what happens after Netanyahu leaves.
I think there's general agreement. And by the way, I think these things can be separated. Whether or not there should be military aid going to Israel is one set of issues. Whether or not Palestine should be recognized as a state is another. On the issue of the famine, I think the United States is trying to do what they can to get food to people. And whether Hamas is intercepting that food or not, that's one of the reports out there.
That's been debunked, though.
I don't know that it's been totally
as far as
debunked.
UN food, they've not been taking food from there. They've been taking it from smaller sites, but not from the UN.
Yeah, but as it relates to the United States, the food that we're providing, and NATO for that matter, should be getting to the people. No question about that. And some on my side will say, well, the hostages need to be released. Again, you can delink things pretty easily, right? There's some basic rules of war, and one of them is you don't starve people.
Yeah, and so for example, any of this conversation about Hamas intercepting food, using that as a leverage point for them, the answer is in war, scarce resources can be exploited. That is if that is even a potential, it means there's not enough aid and food getting into the affected areas.
Bill, the president was asked this week if, I think he might have even been shown an image of starving people in Gaza, and he said, yeah, they look like they're starving to me, and I'm paraphrasing. I mean, that is sort of a game changer, because he's, of all the Netanyahu fans in the world that serve as political leaders, Trump is on that side.
He understands image. Right, and so he was moved by that, and I think he wants to ensure that food is getting to people who need it. So I think that's the position of the United States: is if we're providing those supplies, they ought to be getting there. I think that these things are disconnected from whether Palestine should be considered a state. U.S. doesn't agree with that. Some of our allies are now leaning in that direction. Whether we continue to supply military aid to Israel, that's probably on the table, because they are connecting all of these things, and we're trying to separate them.
Yeah, Trump said he saw it on TV, and it's not just the evolution on the left. I talked about the majority of Democratic senators voting, but you also have voices like Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon on the MAGA right.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Right, who are changing the way that they're talking about this. Politics sometimes makes for strange bedfellows. There are sometimes moments that kind of scramble the coalitions. This is happening very quickly in a way that the Netanyahu administration, I don't think, has fully grasped just yet how much of a problem this could be for them.
With negotiators on the ground trying to figure this out right now, in a couple weeks or a month, what are we talking about in Gaza and in this war?
We have to get to a ceasefire. We have to get the hostages out, and the process of rebuilding Palestine has to happen. And I think this is the
We're in agreement on all that.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing where you start to like, this is an inflection point, and as terrible as it is, you hope that out of the horror comes finally a broader agreement that's where we need to get to.
Yeah, and the notion that hostages provide Hamas leverage, I just don't buy that. I don't think they have any leverage left. I think they ought to release those hostages, and I think there ought to be, bright minds at the table trying to work through these issues. And I know Stephen Witkoff's on his way to Israel right now. We got Ambassador Mike Huckabee, who's already there. Maybe Rubio ends up over there, but we got good people on our side that can bring these sides together and hopefully find a resolution.
Serious question: could Trump look like the hero here if he solves this starvation problem that's happening on the ground in Gaza? I mean, clearly the stuff's there. If he can make that connection to get those people fed, get everything they need to be safer and as safe as you can be in a war environment. This could be a win for the president and the administration.
I think it is. Yeah.
My fear, I think that is possible. My fear is that Netanyahu is a details guy who has been playing Trump like a fiddle and could continue to do that.
All right. Well, the other story that continues to reverberate, maybe split the base up is Epstein. So when we come back, let's move gears, talk about that as far as where that story continues to go and the mishandling of the Trump administration when it comes to the Epstein file. So stay with us on Point Taken.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, this is WTMJ. Steve Scaffidi here from Milwaukee Waitlist. I love talking about them because it changed my life. It can change yours as well. I started my journey in January, lost 40 pounds, well documented. And you know what? I'm in the maintenance phase now, and you know what? I've lost a couple more pounds. I feel better, stronger, and more confident than I have in years. If you're frustrated by some of that gimmicky stuff, the trendy weight loss shots, and things where you hit a plateau or you yo-yo back and forth, Milwaukee Weight Loss helped me lose the weight without all of that nonsense. None of that. Just real results that last. I'm with the program for the rest of my life. It's resetting my metabolism. It's doctor-developed and natural. Helped thousands of people, including me, lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. Life's a journey, but this is a journey you want to be on. Stop the yo-yo dieting and finally take control. Smarter, faster, safer way to reach your goal, and that's Milwaukee Weight Loss and their incredible team. Great coaching support as well. Schedule your free consultation. What do you have to lose? Wait. Today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, call 262-393-2334 or go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
Tony Evers and the Madison Democrats are too weak and too radical. But the same old career politicians can't stop them.
I'm Bill Berrien, a former Navy SEAL and Wisconsin manufacturer. I'm an outsider and a businessman, just like President Trump. I'm running for governor to advance the Trump agenda, shake up Madison, and put Wisconsin citizens first.
Let's fire the bureaucrats. Hire the outsider. Bill Berrien for governor. Paid for by Bill for Governor.
All right, Stranger Things fans, Stranger Things Surfer Boy Pizza is back just in time for the final season of the hit Netflix series. Grab all 4 new flavors along with your limited edition collectible stickers in every box, some even rare and holographic. Crafted by Palermo's with premium ingredients and 80s flair, they're perfect for your Stranger Things watch party. Available now at your local grocer. All right, welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey, he is Steve Scaffidi, and it is Friday, so we are here with Joseph Pecky and Bill McCoshen. And I think to put it lightly, the Trump administration has been flailing as it struggles to contain the fallout from its handling of the so-called Epstein files. And so as this week, while he was overseas, Donald Trump said his fallout had to do with the predator stealing young women to go work for him, which included Virginia Giuffre, who committed suicide earlier this year. Employees.
He said employees.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was just, and so that was weird. I mean, obviously, and then lawmakers are home because Mike Johnson wanted to stop bringing votes to the floor over it. And so Bill, we'll start with you. How do they even, where do they go from here? Because the polling on this is here. 60% of Americans on a recent poll are disapproving of how this has been handled, with a measly 16% saying they're
and
okay
I'm one
with
of
it.
the 60%.
Yeah, I think most of us are, right?
It defies logic. They should release what they can release, the stuff that's protected by the New York courts or the Florida courts. The Florida courts have already opined on this, that they're not going to release what they have. Maybe the New York courts will. Do what you can do and explain what you cannot do. I mean, I think voters understand if this is explained the right way, but you can't make all kinds of promises that this, you get elected, you're going to release this list, and then all of a sudden say, whoa, there is no list. Right? That's just not believable.
With all of this, I mean, as much as we know that President Trump loves executive orders, I mean, he could just order some of this to be released, could he not?
I don't think he can order the courts to release what's their.
I mean, there's a lot of other stuff he's trying to get the courts to do.
Of course, Donald Trump. The degree to which they are flailing this up, speaking of F words, will be taught about in crisis response courses for generations. Every single time President Trump opens his mouth on this topic, he makes it worse. It is astonishing, and we should remember what we're talking about here. This is someone who trafficked underage girls, sexually assaulted and molested underage girls. Ghislaine Maxwell is
hundreds or thousands
is in prison for this, and Donald Trump is saying, "Well, I don't want to talk about whether I would pardon her or not." The degree to which this has become not just a criminal justice matter, but is now a political cover-up of immense magnitude is astonishing. And Bill, the cover-up is usually the cause of the unwinding from a political standpoint.
Yeah, the new information that's sort of astonishing to me is nobody had ever talked to Ghislaine Maxwell before.
But that's not true. She, of course, prosecutors talked to her. She stood trial and was sentenced
to 20 years.
So you're saying no one from the Department of Justice ever talked to her?
Let me ask
the Trump
it this
administration
way.
was in power when she was tried.
Is there something we don't know about what happened?
They're acting like there is, and that's
because that would be a legitimate fear of an administration when there's some uncertainty. They don't want to unleash the hounds and say, oh my goodness, this is way worse than it was a week ago.
Yeah, but you would have known that, right? If Donald Trump had something to worry about, he would have known that before the campaign speeches where he said we're going to release the files. They would have known that before Pam Bondi said what she said, both in February and then again in May when she amplified it, that no one will
but she told him that his name is in the files, and then they decided to try to make it go away.
And they had
which was dumb. From a political standpoint, that was dumb. Of course his names are going to be in the files. He's known this guy for years. There's dozens, if not hundreds, of pictures of the two of them at parties. That's explainable.
You admit they stepped in it by talking about this forever during the
100%.
campaign. Yeah, I mean,
100%.
they walked
and
into
right
this.
now it is stepping on a story they want to promote, which is, this potential conspiracy related to the Russia hoax. Not the fact that Russia influenced the 2016 election, but whether, Donald Trump had colluded with them.
But it's transparently desperate that's what they're going back to try to get out of
I don't
this.
think it is, but the notion it is now because they have mishandled this Epstein case.
All right, we may get back to that because we got a lot of show today. Bill McCoshen, Joseph Pecky, Kristin, Brey, Steve Scaffidi, live from the Bank 5-9 studios. Wisconsin State Fair. It's a gorgeous day out. Less smoke
Come
today?
to the fair.
Less smoke. You figuring out which spork you're going to eat after this?
That one with all the fruit in it that sounded was the
Come on, you're at the fair.
Oh, the lumpia?
He's still on a diet even when he's at the fair.
No, I'll take small bites. Here's the latest now from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Dow has been dropping since the opening bell following a weaker than expected jobs report and steep revisions in the two previous months' numbers. The Dow's down 630 points this hour. ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The White House is acknowledging that those revisions to the May and June report aren't good. They're saying it's not what they want to see, and it comes as the president is moving forward with the tariff policy. No delays, no extensions. He signed the executive order last night, but notably, they actually don't start until August 7th because of processing.
Tariffs for Canada, 35%, rising as of today. President Trump posting on Truth Social, Federal Reserve Board of Governors should usurp the power of Fed Chair Jerome Powell and cut short-term interest rates on its own. A teacher who authorities say admitted to fatally stabbing a couple he didn't know who were hiking with their kids in an Arkansas state park had his first court appearance today. He's been charged with 2 counts of capital murder. This is ABC News.
Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1031. I'm Connie Weber. Life without parole for Maxwell Anderson for the murder and dismemberment of his date, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Sentencing this morning. Anderson asked for mercy, maintained his innocence, but the judge said she didn't believe he was more remorseful for the horrific murder. Part of a Milwaukee Public Works truck sank into the pavement at the site of a water main break in Greenfield, 37th and Kimberly. A Milwaukee Waterworks spokesperson tells WTMJ crews were working to remove the truck Thursday evening, after which they began repairs to restore water service to about 20 homes that were affected. The controversial Cudahy Farms affordable housing development on Milwaukee's northwest side moving forward. Common Council approved the development proposal and tax incremental district during its meeting Thursday. Alderwoman Larissa Taylor, who represents the district where the development would be constructed, abstained from both votes. Milwaukee Business Journal reports the $57 million affordable housing project will feature 212 units and will receive more than $3 million in city subsidies. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is down 631 points at 43,499. The Nasdaq is down 459 at 20,662. S&P 500 is down 104 at 6,236. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Highway 16 closed both directions before I-94 West and after College Avenue because of a crash there. That is about an hour old, and it could be closed for about another hour. I-41 West, about a third of a mile beyond the ramp from Loomis Road. Right lane there blocked due to a crash. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality alert in effect until noon today. For WTMJ News Time, 1033.
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapy. Taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
While your playoff chances are basically gone, get ready to say hello to our friend, Andrew Vaughn.
Hit deep, left center, bye-bye baseball! The legend of Andrew Vaughn keeps growing, a grand slam!
It's the Brewers and the Nationals in Washington, D.C. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 5:10. We are the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Oh, I think that's our cue to start talking. We're broadcasting live from the Wisconsin State Fair. Steve Scaffidi, Kristin, Brey, point taken. You know, it's a Friday, so that means even from the fair. Yes, if you have
Steve will buy you a beer.
You work in the healthcare industry, you have a badge, I buy your first drink.
Oh, yeah, not just a beer, any drink.
Any drink. And boy, the cocktails.
Go top shelf on them.
Damn.
Oh, trust me. I think there was like 8 women one year, like, hit it hard. Like, woo! I love you guys, but come on.
Made a promise.
All right, where are we going?
All right, speaking of money.
The economy.
Yes.
All right, take it.
All right, so kind of a mixed bag, what do we say, for the economy this week?
How is it mixed?
Well, the GDP numbers beat forecasts.
Yeah, and the EU tariff agreement.
There were some
Joel,
agreements
Mr.
that
Negative.
came.
You forgot the good
There was
stuff?
obviously also a disappointing jobs report.
This morning.
All right.
The Dow is down. That is atrocious. And it is the reality of this president of the United States and how people are feeling. People are freaked out about the economy right now, and they should be.
Bill, I think he's being overly pessimistic, and I'm not a fan of the president by any stretch of imagination, but there's some good news this year.
I like how you're coming around.
Yeah.
This is
Oh, God.
Is it the evolution, Bill McCoshen?
It
a
is.
GDP growth rate for the first 6 months of the year of 1.6 or 1.7%.
It was.
You think that's good?
It was.
It was 2.2 for the second 3 months of the year.
No, it was
and
3.0 in the second 3 months.
For the
it actually exceeded expectations by
0.5 in the first quarter.
And your guys'
expectations.
math on the
here's
CBO
the good news
score
for
is
the
like
week.
5% growth?
The tariff deal, the trade deal with the EU, which is our second largest trading partner, was spectacular for the United States of America. No question about that. He did that on Sunday in the middle of a 18-hole golf round. The GDP numbers exceeded expectations by 20%. The inflation number is down today. Where I'm going to agree with you is the jobs number. It is concerning, and you can't look the other way, and I don't think our side should look the other way on this. But my real fear about this is whether or not what is our system at the BLS really is it garbage? Are we using a system that we can count on? And here's why I say that. You and I had this argument when Joe Biden was president. His BLS numbers got revised downward by 818,000 jobs over a 1-year period of time. Trump's now are revised down 250,000. Is the system garbage? Are we using the right way of tracking new job creation? Having said that, these numbers are not great. The president needs to focus even more on the economy.
In what ways is he going to do that? Because so the tariffs for Canada today are 25 to 35. Is that because we didn't strike a deal?
He's going to do it by spending a couple $100,000 to build a ballroom in the East.
I saw that.
No, some of these things are going to take some time.
Which also happened, right? Then there's a 90-day extension for Mexico.
There's $4 trillion in foreign investment that's already promised to the United States. The fact that Trump has 3.5 years left of this presidency is more insurance that that's actually going to happen. And I say insurance, here's why. Listeners in this part of the state will remember Foxconn. They promised a lot of things. They didn't deliver any of them, really. And part of that was Trump was at the end of his first term. And
that's why it didn't happen.
He didn't get reelected. There's a big part of that. When the circumstances on the ground change, companies make different decisions. The fact is he's got 3.5 years to get that $4 trillion in investment here. I still feel pretty good about the seeds that he's planted. I don't think this is a great day for his administration, but I think Q3 and Q4 are going to be very good.
But Steve and I did it was obviously an impromptu poll just talking to texters this week as far as grocery prices. Because I said for our family weekly, 2 adults and child, I don't get out of the grocery store without spending $100 with like 2 bags, not even that much food. And that was pretty much consistent from everyone who texted in.
Do you shop or does Mike?
He does shop. We both shop. Steve does not shop. Oh,
you don't shop at all?
I never shop.
So, as far as prices actually coming down,
it's not happening.
It's not happening.
It is with certain things. Eggs definitely is, but other things it's not.
That's all right. So that's avian flu. But as far as what do you think he has done that is actually putting things in place for prices to come down? The stock market is the stock market. But this is actual people who may or may not be in the stock market are still going to the grocery store, and nothing has shifted as far as the major complaint going into the November election.
Yeah, I think that prices are one of the things he has to focus on. No question about that. Some things are coming down. Gas is down. Eggs are down. But some other staples that people use every week, beef being one of them, are not down. They're up. So I think some of these trade deals will help. Especially with farmers, the new EU trade deal, and we'll see how this stuff shakes out. But as it relates to the stock market, this is a one-day downer. Steve's right; it's actually up year over year. Your 401k is now a 501k. You guys were teasing on April 1st that it was a 201k. It's actually exceeding expectations for the year, and I think by the end of the year it might be a 601k for those that are in the market.
This is where I've softened on the president. Some of this stuff we maybe did overreact when we saw that market dip after Liberation Day and all the things. And today I don't judge the market by one-day performance either way. That's insanity. What's the trend? The trend for the year is
pretty
up.
Good.
And as far as I can tell, that's a win for the president. Bill McCoshen, Joseph Pecky, Kristin Brey, yours truly, broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair. Lots more to come. We'll do it after this.
So what is this?
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Leading a nonprofit takes just the right mix of skills, experience, and passion. It is not easy to find those people. But Spano Pratt can help. They specialize in executive recruiting within the nonprofit world. From candidate discovery to assessment and selection, all the way to onboarding and executive coaching, the team at Spano Pratt is full of experts who identify talent that align with your purpose and mission. Go to SpanoPratt.com to start your search.
Don't miss another exhilarating water show. The 3rd annual Mercury Racing Midwest Challenge Boat Races in Sheboygan. Friday night is a downtown block party where you can see boats up close, enjoy live music, food, beverages, and then get ready for the races. Watch the races live Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the south shores of Lake Michigan behind Blue Harbor Resort. Boats, bites, and brews coincide at King Park. Sponsored by the City of Sheboygan and Three Sheeps Brewing. The Mercury Racing Midwest Challenge Boat Races, August 8th through the 10th.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I'm Kristin Brey, Steve Scaffidi, and we're here with the boys, Bill McCoshen, Joe Zepecki. All right, let's turn our eyes to Wisconsin. There hasn't been a lot of developments in the governor's race since last Friday when Deb Andraco was here in for Joe. No new Democratic candidates announced since last Friday. Or Republicans. There's still lots of chatter. You sent over, Bill, a straw poll. Who conducted this straw poll for Republicans?
Here at the fair. The Republicans have a booth here at the fair. I'm sure the Democrats do too.
Would I be well received if I walked over to that booth, you think?
I think you should be, but I don't know the answer to that.
I'm just curious.
I can come with you if you want.
Yeah, maybe you got to hold my hand on that one. We'll see. Point me in the right direction.
But one of the
people shouldn't be afraid to be challenged.
Come on,
right?
Speaking of being challenged, though, so what was the radio? There was a radio interview with Ron Johnson, with him kind of floating the idea that Republicans should come together.
That's never going to happen.
And decide separately outside of the primary and choose someone to run.
He's like, let's have a smoke-filled back room by December of this year.
Well, you mean like Democrats do.
We don't need to involve the voters. We'll just have Bill Berrien and Josh Schoeman and Tom Tiffany and whoever else is running for governor just get around the table and work it out.
Let's not forget, you had a 5-way primary for U.S. Senate. One of them spent $12 million. Alex Lasry. The other, Sarah Godlewski, spent $4 million. And then 2 weeks before the primary, like, forget about it. We're out.
Closer to 10 days, but okay.
Yeah.
But that wasn't
That wasn't what?
That wasn't a smoke-filled back room.
That was a totally smoke-filled
Democrats
back room.
don't smoke.
One got to be Secretary of State, the other got to be the Democratic National Committee man. There were deals.
And now he's running the FIFA or for World
doing
Cup.
well at
Yeah,
that.
but he's
I
doing
will
great.
say that.
I mean, he threw Tiffany in the mix. Where is he at?
He said he's going to make some announcement after Labor Day.
I'm hearing he's in.
Tom would have a lot of support with major statewide organizations like Americans for Prosperity. No question about that. He's got a strong conservative record as an assemblyman, a state senator, and as a congressman. Probably would have the inside track to get a Trump endorsement, which, by the way, will end our primary. Whoever gets that is going to win the primary. But the knock on him is his money. He's got $125,000 in the bank, which is a mediocre state assembly race today.
So why is that? As a congressman,
he just doesn't like picking up the phone.
Yeah. Styles got like a million.
No, $3 million.
$3 million.
He got $3 million.
Styles, no one's rumoring Style to be.
I believe Brian Styles made a commitment to Speaker Mike Johnson that he's going to run in 2026. That commitment was made when there was some doubt about whether or not the lines would change. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has already decided one case that they would not take it up to change the lines, but there's another one before them. I think Brian has made a commitment to the Speaker, and he's going to honor that, and he's going to run for Congress in 2026.
How many Dems are we going to have?
Tom Tiffany is the most MAGA member of Congress from Wisconsin, in my view.
Yeah,
Van
I would
Orden
agree
is
with that.
probably a close second, but
He's also a great interview, by the way. I like Tom.
He's a sharp guy, and
Tiffany
he's
gets
very down to
in
earth.
and is the most MAGA and gets the Trump endorsement, I don't think that's how Republicans set themselves up for success next year.
It depends on how the whole race plays out. It has to be authentic. You have to have some Trump connection. It can't be a Trump adjacency. And, I think one of the struggles Bill Barron's having is, he's pretending to be a Trump guy when everyone knows he wasn't.
There's going to be a lot of Democrats that run, and any one of them will beat, if it's Tom Tiffany, will beat Tom Tiffany by more than Tony Evers beat
Forget about
Tim
Tom
Michaels.
Tiffany. Who's like the leading Dem, do you think?
Well, I think there's three that are the sort of the A list, right, which is Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Attorney General Josh Kaul, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley.
I agree
There
with
are
that.
other serious people looking at it, but those three are the most likely to be. It's most likely to be one of the three.
Do we think that Call? Because didn't you say last week that you were hearing that Call's think like Wayne whether he would
Governor
just
Doyle
run
and I
for
talked about that last
Attorney
night,
General
and
again?
I'll talk about that in our next segment. But if I'm Josh Kaul, I'm going to run now because it's an open seat. Doesn't happen very often. Yeah, it's a risk. He's giving up a sure thing. Getting reelected as Attorney General is pretty much a gimme putt in the state of Wisconsin. But I think he takes the risk, and I think he gets in the race.
Okay.
All right, we got to take a break. It is our Friday edition. Of course, that means Bill McCosh and Joseph Pecky. We are broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. People are saying hi. People are in a great mood. It's a great day at the fair. Sounds like they're going to get a blessed weather forecast.
They're already drinking beer?
Yeah, that's going to be that's like my 12:05.
I would say that's our countdown.
Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Hope that Miller High Life tap is running because I'm ready for that after a busy week. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll wrap the first hour, whole nother hour with the guys at the fair on 620 WTMJ.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
111 East Kilbourne, Milwaukee. CordellCordell.com.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Paul Sternlieb, CEO of Enerpac Tool Group. We moved our headquarters to downtown Milwaukee earlier this year, and we love it. Downtown has such a vibrant atmosphere. Our dynamic new workplace here will help us expand our business and attract and retain world-class talent.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Start your journey now. Don't wait. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation to lose up to 1 pound of fat per day. No drugs, no injections, no exercise. It's safe, fast, and costs a fraction of those injections. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 5th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Atlanta Braves.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
10:54, we're broadcasting live from the Bank 5 studio. Kristin and Steve on Point Taken, Bill McCosh and Joseph Pecky.
You set it up.
So this Sydney Sweeney story.
It doesn't need setup at this point.
American Eagle. Look, there's a home run in advertising, and then there's a grand slam in advertising. This is a grand slam.
No question.
For American Eagle. I didn't even. You said this yesterday. I haven't even thought about them for like a long time.
They were like Abercrombie Light when I was in high school.
This is winning
drama,
attention in the attention economy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is any of this have any significance as far as this argument that you see online about this is promoting white supremacy or eugenics? It's like, come on.
What I think about this is I've never owned a pair of American Eagle jeans, and I never will.
I don't have any.
Sydney Sweeney is super hot, and I'm a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
And this week...
Ultimately, it's about big boobs, right?
And this week...
Gigantic boobs.
And this week, Donald Trump pressured... And this week, Donald Trump pressured the Smithsonian to rewrite history and remove any notice of his impeachments from the Smithsonian American History Museum. Because that's how you keep your eye on the ball. Why are we playing 3-card Monty and talking about that nonsense when there is an actual threat to our democracy in the form of President Donald John Trump?
I actually had to knock your mic down because you were peaking. You were talking so loud.
I'll relighten this up. Boobs sell. They do.
Right?
It's a brilliant campaign. The company grew $400 million in market cap this week alone. It is one of the most successful campaigns. I don't have anything I don't believe from American Eagle. I don't think my kids do, but I'm thinking about them now.
I will say, one thing I think would have been a more genius move from a marketing standpoint is if you had additional very hot women of different races, and the campaign being like, we have so-and-so has good genes, but it's like it is still more inclusive.
It's early in the game.
Then you have more people who see themselves in the campaign.
I think it's a brilliant move. We're talking about American Eagle. And look, I'm not a huge Sydney Sweeney fan, but...
Why not? Have you seen her?
I have seen her. I saw her on SNL. She did a great job hosting SNL. But that's good marketing. It's like, what are we missing? I think people that focus on... There's always critics of everything. This is one of those ones where... At this moment, just sit down.
Let it be.
Shut up. This is not an argument you want to make. You look stupid. And frankly, it's just like it's complain about everything mode that a lot of people have. The 100%ers on either side make me sick.
But now you're complaining about the complainers, as opposed to complaining about Donald Trump trying to rewrite history.
We got to take a break. Let's do another hour. We're having so much fun.
Hey, all right.
Bill McCosh, Joseph Pecky, Kristin, Brey, Steve Scaffidi, Wisconsin.
Come to the fair.
Bank 5-9 studio, as Bill said. Get out to the fair and come and say hi. News is next.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Tony Evers and the Madison Democrats are too weak and too radical. But the same old career politicians can't stop them.
I'm Bill Berrien, a former Navy SEAL and Wisconsin manufacturer. I'm an outsider and a businessman, just like President Trump. I'm running for governor to advance the Trump agenda, shake up Madison, and put Wisconsin citizens first.
Let's fire the bureaucrats. Hire the outsider. Bill Berrien for governor. Paid for by Bill for Governor.
While Washington struggles to get it done, we'll show you how to close a deal.
And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 101 at the top of the zone.
It's the Brewers and Nationals in D.C.
McGill slams the door.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:10 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11:01, we have 69 degrees and an air quality alert in effect until noon today for all of southeast Wisconsin. It is going to be sunny with a high of 74. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. No possibility of parole for the man convicted of killing and dismembering a Milwaukee woman after a first date. 34-year-old Maxwell Anderson was found guilty in the murder of 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Judge Laura Cravello.
Counts 2 and 3 are consecutive to count 1.
At the start of the sentencing, the judge dismissed the count of hiding a corpse, and for the ease in sentencing, Anderson will serve a mandatory life sentence. Court today for the man accused of murdering a married couple at an Arkansas state park. ABC's Pierre Thomas says the murders of Kristin and Clinton Brink, who left daughters 9 and 7 orphaned, appears to be a random attack.
Brinks fought back, police say, as their killer stabbed them. And their fight for survival appears to have helped police crack the case. The suspect was injured, leaving blood and DNA at the scene. And those brave little girls doing their part, too, helping police by providing a description of the suspect.
Andrew James McGahn will face 2 counts of capital murder. Police say McGahn has admitted his guilt. President Trump's new tariff rates on U.S. trading partners weighing down stocks on Wall Street. Originally set to go into effect today, the new rates will now kick in next week. As a result, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has been down over 700 points, S&P 500 down well over 1%, and the NASDAQ over 400 points lower at times. A weaker than expected jobs report released today by the Labor Department. Only 73,000 jobs were added last month, below the 100,000 analysts were expecting. ABC's Alexis Christoforous says prior months were also revised downward.
That revision for the prior 2 months, for May and June, 258,000 fewer jobs added. That means in those 2 months, just 33,000 jobs were added. I think what you're starting to see is businesses are having a hard time planning for the future, expanding payrolls and hiring more people because they simply don't understand what their costs are going to be going forward.
Unemployment is up slightly. It went up in June 0.1% to 4.2%. The Northeast has seen torrential rain flood streets. Over 5 inches fell in New York City Thursday, flooding the roads and stalling commuter trains. Local reports say over 100 passengers had to be rescued from a train that got stuck in Queens. Canadian wildfire smoke will continue to affect our air quality over the next several days. Milwaukee had some of the worst air quality in the world Thursday. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get rid of it completely. I think we see some improvement and then kind of lingering through the entire weekend where I think it will be noticeable.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in less than 5 minutes. 15-year-old girl in critical condition after a near drowning in Racine.
Authorities were called just after 6 o'clock Thursday night to reports of a girl struggling in the lake at Cary-Hogle Park. The Racine County Sheriff Boat Patrol found the girl about 20 feet from the shore, and she was pulled from the water, not breathing. Officials say the girl regained a pulse and was taken to a Milwaukee area hospital in critical condition. The Racine County Sheriff's Office says the lake conditions were very poor, with 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 3-foot waves in the lagoon area, and visible rip currents. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Welcoming visitors from around the country to the Wisconsin State Fair, Executive Director and CEO Sherry Black tells Wisconsin's Morning News the admission deal for Day 2.
If you are out of state with your out-of-state ID, you get 2 tickets for the price of 1. Appreciate all of our friends coming to celebrate all things Wisconsin.
Black says people from every state in the country have enjoyed the Wisconsin State Fair. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow down 442 points, NASDAQ down 340, S&P 500 down 73. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they've delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hey, John Mercure here. Hope you'll join me every Saturday at 1 for Experience Wisconsin. This week's show is huge. I mean, it's monstrous. It is absolutely enormous. We've got great guests from around the state. We will check out iconic supper club Ishnala. We'll head to central Wisconsin and hang out with our friends in Stevens Point. And then north along the lake, a great summer planned in Sheboygan. We have got you covered. It's from east to west, north to south. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Time Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers begin August in the nation's capital, playing the first of 3 games against the Nationals tonight. Milwaukee swept the Nationals at home last month. Packers continued their training camp slate Thursday. Coach Matt LaFleur said linebacker Marshawn Lloyd's groin injury will keep him out this week, but not long term. Brandon McManus missed his first field goal attempt of camp and is now 28 for 29 during team periods. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Highway 16 still closed both directions before I-94 West and after College Avenue because of a crash there. 2 left lanes now closed northbound I-41 at Highway 50 in Kenosha County due to a crash. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Air quality alert until noon today for all of southeast Wisconsin. Sunny with a high 74. Clear and cool tonight with the low 60. Sunny, nice tomorrow, high 78. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, sunshine all 3 days with highs in the lower 80s. 69 in Madison and Green Bay, 68 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. Broadcasting live from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Hour number two.
It's 11 o'clock. It's Friday. We're ready.
We're in the grab bag
We got
hour,
one more.
right?
It's the grab bag hour. We're going to
nice
say
hour?
something nice. That is the voice of Bill McCoshen. Joseph Pecky is also here. And, of course, Steve and I are here as well at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Thousands of friends at the State Fair.
In the Bank 5-9 studio.
Let me tee this one up.
Okay.
Where do you think the president has, and Kristin always puts great notes in our show plan, approval-wise, where do you think the president, Donald J. Trump, is at right now?
I think on the Real Clear Politics average, he's about 45 or 46% job approval, which is above where Bush was at this time in the second term and above where Obama was at this time in the second term.
So give
by
me
about a point and a half.
Give me assessments. Where has he? I know other than Epstein, I think they've dropped the ball on that. What are the highs? What are the lows so far in his administration?
I think his congressional relations is far superior this time than it was last time. They know how to get things done. I think they have. I think Susie Wiles has been a spectacular pick as the first female White House chief of staff. I mean, they had one little dust up where Dan Bongino threatened to walk away, and within 72 hours he was back at work. So I give Susie Wiles a lot of credit for that. I think by and large, this cabinet is locked in as a team.
Hegseth?
You can dispute whether they're
doing lie detector tests
qualified
for his,
or not
employees?
qualified.
No, they
but
told him
they're-
not to.
As a team, they are fully supportive of the president first, right? Not their own private agendas. So I think those are 3 pretty significant upgrades.
Who's most vulnerable in his administration, in his cabinet, do you think? Who could go?
Well, there are some that don't get any press.
They're fine.
They're probably
They're not
fine.
taking attention away from the boss.
Yeah.
It's Hegseth and Bondi, right? Let's not overthink this.
I think it's Bondi. Yeah.
Because at any moment, she could be made the scapegoat for the hash they've made of the Epstein cover-up.
Why do you think she hasn't already been the scapegoat? Because she's so loyal?
There's got to be a bigger play at
Probably because
work
she's
here.
seen the file because it was on her desk.
I think there's a bigger play at work that we'll either know or not know in the next 30 to 60 days, but I think she's the most at risk, for sure.
Gallup has President Trump's job approval at 37%.
They are garbage.
That is not as low as his all-time low of 34%, but these things are directionally important. He is losing across the board, including among Republicans, and that's going to continue to get worse if he continues to bungle the Epstein response. Independents, Gallup has it as a 17-point decline. Directionally, he is moving in the wrong way. You can't argue with that. And they can't get past Epstein because they don't have good answers. The economy stuff is going to continue to churn, whether it works out in the long run or not. You know,
there will be ebbs and flows.
But the economic perceptions, those bake in. And they happen sooner than you think. Like, for example, for the first 3 months of the year, everybody could get away with saying, this is Joe Biden's economy. Not anymore. Donald Trump owns this economy. Every frustration that people have with it, it will be his fault and the fault of his sycophants in Congress who refuse to stand up and say enough.
So the 2026 general election in the state of Wisconsin begins in 375 days. The primary is August 11th, 2026. Whether it's a congressional race or a gubernatorial race or a lieutenant governor race, I expect primaries and all that. The general election is in 375 days. I'm confident that the economic numbers are going to be not only stable but improving in the green category by that point. And that changes a midterm election. I think Donald Trump has the ability to have a similar midterm to what Joe Biden did, where he exceeded expectations in the congressional races, and Trump could get there in 2026.
But what makes you think that when we know that there is a voter downturn when Trump is not on the ballot?
Well, some of it's congressional redistricting. It's magic. Somehow.
That's the clip of the day. All right, let's get to redistricting and all the efforts by this administration to work on Texas, and now some Democratic response to that, and it's fired up Gavin Newsom, all kinds of...
And J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah. We'll get to that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could he make his
After
maps
the break,
worse?
or is that
Good luck.
now?
Yeah.
Do we have
Why
to
did
get,
you...
do we
No,
have, do we
we're
have
going to take a break.
Okay.
Yeah. Work up your argument.
I'm
More
ready to
people
go.
walking around with
Joe
beers
seized
here.
the moment here.
Come and get a beer at the State Fair.
Absolutely. What, are you working for Miller now? All right. Kristin and Steve, point taken from the Bank 5-9 studios at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Avid. You know I love talking about Avid. 5 years ago, they changed my life, and they can change yours as well. If you're dealing with this stuff, if you're tossing and turning at night, if you're snoring excessively, if you're bothering your bed partner to the point where they can't sleep, that's a problem. Well, I did something about it. My poor wife, Kathy, had to deal with so much just living with me, but sleeping with me was a bigger problem. I snored all the time. I went to Avid, 30-minute visit. They put me at ease. We did a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed. They figured out for me sinuses and nasal passages. Very common problem. Short procedure at one of their great offices. I'm breathing better than ever, sleeping through the whole night. If you struggle like I used to, take the time, Bill McCoshen, to see if Advent can help you. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com. Schedule an appointment today because Advent knows.
Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in August 5th at 6:15 on...
Available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
All right, Leff's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill is keeping our WTMJ crew fueled all fair long, and you can enjoy it too. From the Strawberry Cheesecake Blast mocktail to live music and daily giveaways, Leff's is the State Fair MVP. Find it at Grandstand and 2nd and check leffs.com. Welcome back to Point Taken.
They are our food supplier here at the Bank 5-9 studio.
What did you have yesterday? Chicken?
Yeah, chicken. It was fantastic.
I had a ham and cheese, like a pulled ham and cheese.
There's a slice of bread in every beer. For a pulled ham and cheese right now if anybody's listening.
All right. So Pecky needs
we gotta have something fried. We're at the fair.
All right. Who wants to wind this one up?
Of going out and selling their BBB, this reconciliation bill, which Bill keeps encouraging them to do.
Yeah,
go sell it. Instead of trying to sell it and make it more popular, which it's not popular right now, they're saying, hey, where can we get a few seats on the cheap? Where can we just move the lines and try to add between 5 and 10 Republican seats? Because that's apparently easier than trying to sell a $1 trillion cut to Medicaid or putting $3 trillion on the credit card and increasing the national debt. So that is what's happening. And Democrats are saying, Democratic governors of big blue states like California and Illinois are saying, we're not going to unilaterally disarm. If Abbott moves in Texas, if DeSantis moves in Florida, we're going to respond in kind. It's sort of a mutually assured devastation of a political norm, I guess.
But do they have the Isn't there? I have to imagine it's harder.
It's harder for
Especially because
Democrats.
California is
much harder for Democrats.
Is one of the leaders as far as their independent bipartisan commission. As far as what most of us who want gerrymandering to end is looking to say this is a good thing. And Gavin Newsom, I mean, you fight fire with fire, as Gavin Newsom said. But also, I just feel like it's just like a race to the bottom.
It's terrible.
It feels terrible.
It sucks. It sucks that this is where we are. Full stop.
So Gavin Newsom, for example, let's use the Tony Evers argument. When Tony Evers wanted to redo the maps here in Wisconsin, and he ran on this in 2018, and he ultimately got it done when the progressives took over the Wisconsin Supreme Court. He said, we're roughly a 50-50 state, therefore the legislative district should be roughly 50-50. Okay, let's say that argument holds. Gavin Newsom, California is a 44% Republican state. 17% of their congressional districts are GOP, right? In the state of Massachusetts, it's a 38% Republican state, meaning 62% Democratic. 0 Republican seats there. So
now do Texas.
Here's you guys laughed at this. You didn't understand what I was talking about, and I don't mean that offensively. Republicans rarely have fought back on this stuff. When Massachusetts did their maps, when California did their maps, Republicans should have fought harder. So now you've got governors like the governor of Texas, the governor of Florida, maybe the governor of Indiana, who are saying, yeah, we're open to this. We will redo maps mid-census. I don't know that that's a great policy overall, but the fact that Republicans are playing to win, I love that.
All right, so if that happens, if Texas does that, maybe some other states, and then there's a response, do we all agree that we're in a worse place? Because then we're just gaming.
Yeah, and remember, they still have to get by the United States Supreme Court. There are certain triggers in there that the United States Supreme Court will look for to see if they pass muster.
This is why people hate politics, and a lot of the time they're not wrong. It's disgusting. Knock it off.
Play to win, brother.
You think Texas will
go make your argument?
I'm certain Texas will do it.
They will change. Was it 5 seats?
5 seats.
Do you think there's any chance, as much as I don't want to even put this on the ether, because as you referenced earlier in today's show, there is another case that has been filed for the Wisconsin Supreme Court to look at our congressional seats. It's making a different argument than the one that got dismissed or never heard. Does all of a sudden that become a more appealing argument in Wisconsin for this Supreme Court?
I'm going to give this progressive majority the benefit of the doubt. I think they looked at that case and said, we're not going to stake our reputation on that. There are other things that are on the progressive agenda that they will get to. That's not going to be one of them.
All right, coming up, to buy or not to buy, should members of Congress be trading? Oh, we got to dig into this one. That's coming up on Point Taken.
Buckle up.
620 WTMJ.
If you have not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do this weekend. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned. This Saturday only, enjoy an 8-ounce char-grilled tenderloin filet with 8 Cajun shrimp, potato, super salad, and homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for just $64.99. And that's for 2 dinners. 2 world-class dinners for $64.99, plus desserts are always buy one, get one free. I love their homemade desserts. From scratch, delicious. Relax with a cocktail on the patio in the woods, then your free dinner. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 1C.
Step right up and gaze into my crystal ball. I see flashing lights, spinning reels, and a big win. This August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival at Potawatomi. Play with your rewards card and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Welcome back to Point Taken. We are at the Wisconsin State Fair in the Bank 5-9 studio. I am Kristin Brey. He is Steve Scaffidi, and we're still here with Bill McCoshen and Joe Zapecki.
What do you mean still?
I didn't say we got the whole 2 hours. I think this is the second time that we've done a full 2 hours.
Yeah. 2 in a row.
Yeah.
People aren't going to let us go back
great.
to a mere hour on Fridays.
All right, I think this is one where we're actually all going to agree.
The heat of agreements.
We very
really?
well
I mean, it's shocking that we all four of us are going to agree on this, but
the only shocking part is where Republicans are.
yeah. So not all of them though. Not all of them, right? So out of committee, it's been voted out of committee to bill to ban members of Congress from trading
Do you know what
the
it's
stock
called?
market.
The Pelosi Act.
No, I think that was the old one.
Okay.
I think this is replacing what was
version?
the Pelosi Act, which is hilarious because what is she worth
because
for?
Pelosi's
Act
for it.
passed the House, right?
Is she for it?
Yes, she is for
She
banning
said that this
congressional
week.
stock trading.
Yeah, she was saying, "Why are you asking me these questions?" That was hysterical.
All right, so now I think you sent this yesterday, Joe, as far as Representative Anna Paulina Luna said that the House leadership is trying to pressure her into not bringing a petition to pass a ban on congressional stock trading. So where does this fall as far as who do we know? I know Ron Johnson, there was a quote from him saying it's going to be hard to incentivize people to run for Congress if they can't trade in the stock market.
It's going to be harder to get rich people to be in politics.
And so I think this is a no-brainer as far as how it polls with the public. I think most of us agree that this is something that they should not be able to do. But is there the political appetite to actually do it?
I don't know that it'll ever get to the floor, which is a really sad statement for me to make because I've been for this bill ever since I've been on this show and before that. It makes no sense that congressional members can make stock trades while they're getting inside information on companies they regulate.
It makes dollars and cents because they make money.
Or that the president and vice president can.
Yeah, I agree with that. They shouldn't be able to do it. It should be bipartisan. This should have already whistled through Congress unanimously and been signed by the president. This is sort of ethics 101. Why can't they get this done? And why is there any disagreement on this? You don't run for Congress to make money, just to use Senator Johnson's argument. I have a lot of respect for him, and I voted for him 3 times. You run to serve the public. That's what you run for. You don't run to get rich. The fact that Nancy Pelosi does better on her stock trading than any major trader in history. He's
right on this, and he's better on Medicaid.
Well, maybe. I mean, how do you vote for something and then 2 days later say, "Can I take back that vote?" That is a weenie move.
It is
a weenie move.
Wait, what happened?
Listen, I am not going to defend Josh Hawley. I am simply stating a fact. As of today, he's the only Republican member of the United States Senate who believes in this bill because it was him and all of the Democrats voting in committee that can now come to the floor. In the House, you need a discharge petition.
Yeah.
Every Democrat should sign it, and then I think you would only need 2 or 3 Republicans
should be able to
force it to the floor. Even if both houses pass it, what do you suppose the odds are Donald Trump would sign it?
100%.
No way. He'd veto it.
100%. He said
He would
so in
veto it.
April that he would sign it.
Well, that was before they added the amendment that includes the president and vice president.
He'll still sign it. He'll still
think
sign
he
it.
would?
Yeah, no question.
It's the right move.
He should. This should happen tomorrow. Full stop.
But doesn't this just point out the stupidity of politics? This is one of those no-brainer ones.
Yeah.
But why, Bill and Joe, is this so hard for them to figure this stuff out?
Because there is some benefit.
What's public polling say on this one? Isn't
it's probably an 80-20.
Yeah, I would say that public. I
How
don't
is
know
this
the numbers
hard?
off the top of my head, but I would imagine that it's incredibly popular. But here's because when we talked about this earlier this week, would you then be in favor of a pay increase? As far as trying to recruit, right? To try to recruit better and better people to run for office. And this is
they don't
my
run
argument.
for the money, but yes.
But as far as just
But
when
you
you
would
could
get
go
a
work
more
on Wall Street,
representative-
you could go work and be partner at a major law firm of the different jobs that are higher paying. Because we know at a state legislative level, a lot of people take a pay cut, right? To be alderman or to be an assembly rep.
Even governor pays $160 grand.
Yeah, and so to incentivize in less corrupt ways, as far as like this is just your salary versus, well, you know what you're going to make in the stock market because you're going to have a lot of inside
paying
information.
politicians more.
Me too.
All right.
Is this
Look at us. Look at us.
Let's tee this up because I want to talk about this after the break quickly. This idea that these Trump accounts is sort of the foray into doing something with Social Security revamping. Do you agree with that?
I like the $1,000 per newborn. I think that's a cool idea. It remains to be seen how that'll shake out. But if you just do basic math on how the stock market, I mean, that's probably going to be worth $50,000 when that kid hits 18 years old. So I like that idea.
How about this rebate, $600?
I hate it. No rebates. No stimmy checks. Sorry. Pay down the debt.
Yeah, it just increased the national deficit in the pandemic.
Yeah, we don't need it.
So
pay down the debt.
Yeah, we got $3 trillion more because all the Republicans voted for the big bill. We got to pay that down.
Do you use
Great job, everybody.
Do you use Republicans as a dirty word? Is that what you?
He does.
Do you make?
No,
he does.
I use flail as a dirty word because they're flailing it up.
Steve, do you see who's here?
My lovely wife Kathy's outside, so if you want to see her, she's out there right now. And
no beer, sans beer.
She doesn't drink. That's my designated driver.
Doesn't drink, doesn't swear. Kathy's obviously the better half.
And doesn't like when I swear either. So
I would like to see your swear jar.
Ask my mom. She hates when I say the H word. Imagine what the rest of it would cost me.
Oh, my.
All right, we got a few seconds here. Anything real big before the break? We're in the Bank 59 Studios, Wisconsin State Fair. Come on and say hi. The people have been great out here.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there and actually talk to people after the show.
Yeah, we're going to do we're going to have a Sporky or two.
I'm going to make Steve make some content.
Yeah, she thinks I don't like
get him on the
content,
social
but
medias.
I actually do. It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
They should get you with some fried food here.
I don't eat a lot of fried food anymore. But there's some stuff that's not fried.
A lot of it's fried. I think your diet's on a break this week,
That's why you go to the fair if you're an adult.
Yeah.
That and the beer.
You and I can do some clean eating post-fair.
We'll do. All right, whatever. But I'm going to have some good food after the fair. So we got local news coming up. And then, before we get to that, of course, the latest now from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Countries will face at least 10% tariffs on goods into the U.S. President Trump announcing 70 countries will see levies on imports ranging from 15 to 40%. Those new hikes take effect in 7 days. Uncertainty over tariffs showing up in the latest job numbers. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
The Dow Jones estimate was for a meager 100,000 jobs to have been added last month. The Labor Department's actual number came in at only 73,000 and continues a cooling trend that began in May. The one upside is that the weakening employment picture may give the Federal Reserve new incentive to lower interest rates when the Board of Governors meets in September.
The Bureau of Prisons confirming to ABC News Ghislaine Maxwell has been transferred from a minimum security federal prison in Florida to an all-women Texas prison camp. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking in the Jeffrey Epstein case. On Wall Street, stocks are down sharply due to tariff concerns. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. Sentencing this morning for Maxwell Anderson, who killed and dismembered his date, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. The judge gave him life without the possibility of parole, said she didn't believe he had any remorse. Anderson maintained his innocence and prior to sentencing asked for mercy. Milwaukee residents with multiple parking tickets would be notified before their cars towed. Common Council passed a new measure Thursday that would send a warning letter to residents outlining a 60-day deadline to either pay their tickets in full or set up a payment plan. Currently, habitual parking violators with multiple tickets are not notified before their vehicles impounded. It now heads to the mayor's desk for approval. Milwaukee had some of the worst air quality in the world yesterday due to that Canadian wildfire smoke. It'll likely hang in the air for the next several days, affecting air quality. And air quality alerts now been extended again till noon Saturday for the entire state. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 445 points at 43,684. The Nasdaq is down 371 at 20,750. S&P 500 down 81 points at 6,258. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Highway 16 still closed in both directions before I-94 West and after College Avenue because of a crash there. 2 left lanes are closed on northbound 41 at Highway 50 in Kenosha County due to a crash. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. As we just mentioned, that air quality alert now in effect till noon Saturday for all of Wisconsin. It is going to be still smoky today. Sunshine with a high 74. Clear and cool tonight with a low 60. Sunny, nice tomorrow with a high 78. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we've got sunshine all 3 days with highs all 3 days in the lower 80s. 69 in Madison and Green Bay, 68 still in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for QC Kinetics. You ever wake up with that pain in your back or your elbow? In my case, it's my elbow, or your knee or your other joints. Well, how about doing something about it? I went to QC Kinetics. I talked to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and their team and scheduled my treatments, 5 treatments throughout the summer, to make me feel better, to use my own body to help restore and repair this damaged joint, in my case, the elbow, using natural therapies, no surgery, none of the pills, no masking of the injuries that are bothering you. You can even bring your own x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free no-pressure chat, and you can find out if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new about yourself. Do what I did. Go to QC Kinetics. You will find out what is ailing you. You'll help your body heal itself. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Don't wait. Call now. QC Kinetics.
All right, we got 1/2 hour left until we are going to be released into the fair to have a beer and some sporky winners. Welcome back to Point Taken. I'm also looking forward to it. All right.
But I don't like this.
Last topic for the day. That's the winners of the new. So every year there's new foods that get submitted to the fair.
I'm glad Bill asked that question because I have it up. Remember, I looked it up this morning?
Looked up the name of it. You don't know what Sporkies, the Sporkies are?
I guess not.
It's a contest.
It refers to a popular, creative, and over-the-top food item that they do every year at the fair. They always have a top 3, and they have like 100 new ones every year, and they all sort of vie for the winner.
There's judges. There's celebrity judges.
I probably have
some
judges who could be a judge. I could be a guest judge.
And they call it basically because it's a playful mix of sweet and savory, potentially using spork, which is that combined utensil.
Yeah,
that's what they.
And then they introduced the Drinkies, which is a less creative name, which is exactly what it sounds like.
High Life is my eternal drinky champion.
Yeah. Or in Wisconsin, the drunkie.
The drunkie.
Yes. All right.
All right. So we're talking about Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, kind of saying the quiet part out loud this week, as far as
he got smacked down quick.
The Trump accounts that are being created for children being a backdoor to privatizing Social Security. Joe, you introduced this one to us. I had not.
He said this at one of these right-wing issue forums, and he was asked about, the wins in the economic agenda, the big bill that just passed, and he described these baby bonds as a backdoor way to privatizing Social Security, which is the third rail. Donald Trump, to his credit, knows it's bad politics,
and always has,
which is why he has always said, "Don't touch Social Security." The problem is, this president can't be trusted to live up to what he says, because he also said in rooms with Republican members of Congress, don't touch Medicaid, don't touch Social Security, it's bad politics. And Republican members of Congress had to be like, but this bill does touch Medicaid. It cuts $1 trillion from it, and Trump doesn't care because he's not a details guy. So when you've got ideologues in the administration who want to privatize Social Security,
is this your monologue for the week? Are we in the Festivus segment?
I was off last week.
Bessent got over skis on this one.
All right.
He is probably the top performer in the Trump cabinet. Very, very valuable. He's phenomenal on the Sunday shows. Certainly knows his stuff when it comes to the economy. There's not going to be any change in Social Security in this administration.
Except it running out in 7 years?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that's the case.
Do we all agree something has to be done at some
something
point?
has to be
at
done.
some point, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
privatization is not the way.
I mean, can we all agree that maybe increasing what the cap is
Yes.
is possibly one of the ways?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we all we can come to
the four of us could run this country better than this clown could.
That's the second clip of the day that we need to keep our hands on.
Producer Jazz, you got these, you're flagging all these good moments?
I'm going to go to break because we have a lot of stuff to get to in our Say Something Nice.
We do.
Grab bag. Bill McCoshen, Joseph Pecky, Kristin, Brey, Steve Scaffidi. It is us, 620 WTMJ, broadcasting live from the Bank 59 studio. Gorgeous day at the fair. You should come on out. Please say hi. I just saw my high school buddy Ernie Rodriguez came and said hi. My wife Kathy's milling around the grounds, probably shopping as I speak.
I got to finally meet Kathy?
Yes, she was waiting to meet you. How'd it go?
It went great.
Save that. All right, take a quick break. 620 WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
At Dillon's, they don't overcomplicate it. They start with their award-winning small batch gin to create craft cocktails that are balanced, crisp, and never too sweet. Like strawberry rhubarb with a zest of lime, or tangerine, lemon, and just a hint of mint. Elevated flavor combinations stand out and keep things refreshing. For those seeking a better cocktail experience, enjoy it straight from the can or pour it over ice. Dillon's Cocktails, made the right way. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, John Mercure here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's Certa Pro Painters.
Jesus is coming at you. Not in a bad, threatening way. He didn't come into the world to condemn the world. He's coming at you to take the stuff of your life and turn it into a great story. So, hang on.
Hear a classic message from Dr. Dale Meyer as we begin Archives August, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey, Ripon, big news! Tyson's is opening this fall. Shop trusted brand names for home, farm, auto, pet, tools, and home improvement all in one place. And count on personal customer first service every time you walk in. Check us out at Tysons.com.
Yeah. You keep saying your side is better. It's time to
say something nice
about the other side of the political aisle on Point Taken.
Come on, people now.
I love that.
I like it.
Acting in that one. You are the talent.
I am the talent. I'm half of the talent. Kristin, Brey alongside.
Who do you think's a better actor, you or me?
You are. You were an actor.
Yeah.
Look, I never did a high school play or anything. Did you do high school plays?
I did many high school plays.
Really? Did you play the male roles?
The male roles?
Yeah.
No.
Because you're
well, actually, that's not true.
See,
I was
that's why I asked.
when I was a kid, I was Wilbur in Charlotte's Web. I was the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz.
that?
And
I didn't know scarecrows were gendered.
Well, the Scarecrow. I think the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz is.
Yeah, it's a guy.
Is a guy.
It's a dude.
Were you in Greece?
Yeah.
I was never in Greece.
Oh. You didn't play Sandy in Greece?
I never played Sandy in Greece. I would have wanted to play Rizzo. I think I'm more of a Rizzo than a Sandy. Let's be
I think you are too.
100% accurate. All right, not fake news. All right, so let's say something nice as we sort of wind down our State Fair appearance on this Friday.
I thought Republican Speaker Robin Vos, who I often am criticizing, had a pitch-perfect, exactly right response to the news that Governor Evers would not seek a third term. I'll read it quickly. This was Vos. No matter what side of the aisle we stand on, the decision to run for statewide office comes with many personal sacrifices that are worthy of recognition. I want to thank Governor Evers for his service to the state of Wisconsin. I wish him and Kathy well as they prepare to retire to private life. Good on you. I appreciate that. Pitch perfect.
Well done.
Yeah, that's good.
Mine is U.S. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada and Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota. Spartacus, also known as Cory Booker, gave another asinine speech on the United States Senate floor this week, where he blasted his own party for bringing a package of bipartisan bills related to police to the floor. Their response was genius. They said, hey, maybe if you showed up at committee, you could have amended the bill.
See how he manages to say something mean in the Say Something Nice segment? And I was just nice.
You got something?
Do I have anything this week? Do you have something?
Yeah, I can go. So when we're talking about policy at the federal level and the conduct and the actions and the words of the President of the United States, I actually am serious when I say the President has a chance in the Middle East to redeem himself. And I say that with all confidence. This is a problem that's existed for many, many years, many administrations. We've had Camp David and the peace accords and everything else that's happened since then. And I think if the president is serious about this, if his best political buddy, Benjamin Netanyahu, leader of Israel, are serious about actually crafting something that's real, this could be a game changer for the president. So I'm going to say something nice about the president. Seize the moment. You want to be remembered for something that's really significant, not your sort of dim-witted approach to tariffs and trade. This is the moment. You can shine on this. So it's sort of a say something nice about the president, because people always say, I hate the president. I don't hate the president. I want the president to succeed.
So is that because you're not like on one side, right? So which side are you choosing?
If it never Trump Republican,
nice
I mean, he could actually get away with that.
I don't know. That's what as I was sitting here, kind of trying to think of my own, but also being like, well, what side does this mean that you're on?
You're not supposed to critique mine.
Oh, okay.
Their own damn one.
Say something snarky to your co-host.
Did you come up with one while you were critiquing mine?
That actually was mine. I would say the realization, I think, granted, everything always has to be on TV. So I think the realization of Trump watching, he's like, you can't fake that there could be movement, and Joe's rolling his eyes. You don't buy it?
I was looking out the window.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Let's throw this in. The president, I think this is going forward, $200 million privately financed addition to the White House. This ballroom idea, did you see
It's
that?
a corruption secret auction.
You're polluting the segment.
I know, but I
bring that up. You're polluting the segment.
Did I miss yours? What was yours?
She didn't have one.
I thought we were only having you guys do this.
No, I'm doing
next week I'll have a better one.
She misunderstood the assignment.
I don't know that we need a ballroom at the White House.
He wants a
I think the
ballroom.
White House is just fine.
We also don't need a $954 million expenditure to retrofit a new Air Force One that is a gift to
now
the
we're
we need Boeing to actually finish the plane they started 8 years ago.
Close it out. We come back and do a grab bag.
Before we close it out.
All right, I'll stick it in my grab
Because we're
bag.
at the State Fair with the Bank 5-9 Studios, 620 WTMJ, point taken. Your favorite thing about the State Fair? It can be anything.
Animal barns.
Really?
Yeah, I love going through with the nieces and nephews, the youngsters. It's so cool.
It's a tie between the food and people watching.
People watching's outstanding.
I can't wait for taking Frankie to the animal barns this year because she
For
loves
kids,
animals.
I remember my grandkids and even my kids many years ago. It's so because they don't see these animals on a daily basis. I know the kids that work out here in the fair and that are showing their animals. You want to talk about hard work? That's hard work. So when we celebrate the fair, it's all those kids, all those families, all those farmers.
They put a ton of time into it.
Oh my God, they spend so much time.
Maybe I'll bring some art of Baby Joey at the State Fair next week.
There you go.
Oh, interesting. All right, you'll both be here next week?
We will.
Got to dig through the archives.
All right, we're going to wrap it up like we always do. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. Point taken. Grab Bag is next on 620 WTMJ.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Don't miss another exhilarating water show. The 3rd annual Mercury Racing Midwest Challenge Boat Races in Sheboygan. Friday night is a downtown block party where you can see boats up close, enjoy live music, food, beverages, and then get ready for the races. Watch the races live Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the south shores of Lake Michigan behind Blue Harbor Resort. Boats, bites, and brews coincide at King Park. Sponsored by the City of Sheboygan and Three Sheeps Brewing. The Mercury Racing Midwest Challenge Boat Races, August 8th through the 10th.
Start your journey now. Don't wait. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation to lose up to 1 pound of fat per day. No drugs, no injections, no exercise. It's safe, fast, and costs a fraction of those injections. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. All right, since we got most of the politics out of our systems, let's finish up with some grab bags.
All right. Who wants to start with the grab bag?
Well, I think we all have something nice.
We all have something
mine's
nice?
crabby.
Okay, you go
All right,
first,
you go
Crabby.
Do the
first,
crabby
the
one
crabby
first. So, about a dozen protesters showed up at Congressman Brian Stiles' home, 7 of whom were carrying a coffin. This is the type of behavior that cannot be acceptable in American politics. And honestly, I think it's an incitement of violence. At a minimum, it's meant to intimidate Brian Stiles. If I were the Rock County District Attorney, I would charge everyone who showed up at his house. It's a Class A misdemeanor, potential fine of a $10,000 and up to 9 months in jail. I don't think they should do jail time, but a $1,000 fine for each of them who showed up and some community service would send a message to other nut jobs out there. You do not show up uninvited at a congressman or United States senator's house, regardless of which party they are. That is way over the line.
It does seem over the line given what happened in Minnesota recently. Not the same thing, of course, but it does seem bad timing, if nothing else. But yeah, interesting point. All right, Joe.
Here comes the rebuttal. I see it.
He's sitting on it.
I'm trying to
He's sitting on
decide. We don't generally rebut grab bags, but
I've forced him to a few times.
You know what else sends a signal of incitement is pardoning January 6th insurrectionists who beat up cops.
Bill wasn't in favor of that either.
I know he wasn't, but
so then what's your point?
My point is, for my grab bag,
yes, there we go.
It is the last true weekend of summer for high school athletes who are starting fall sports, including football. So, to all the football players out there, enjoy your last weekend without commitments. Get ready for camp starting Tuesday across the state of Wisconsin. Good luck. Stay safe.
Be smart this weekend.
Be smart
so you're
this
eligible.
weekend. That's right.
Are you coaching again
I
this
am.
year?
I'm looking forward to
For folks who don't know,
hitting the field at Whitnall High School. That's where I played in the 1900s, is what the kids describe it as.
You and Dan O'Donnell are celebrity.
He played soccer, not football, like the tough guys.
Why does that not surprise me?
So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'll be, probably a little tanner next week after a few days out on the field before I see you next Friday.
All right, mine's a sports one, too, because I found out that this weekend is the All-City Swim Meet in Madison.
It's phenomenal.
And it took me being a grown adult to realize how special the All-City Swim Club League is in Madison. And that's not just a normal thing that happens in many municipalities. It certainly doesn't happen in Milwaukee. But I grew up a swimmer at Tacoma, and knowing the volunteer hours it takes for so many parents to pull off the All-City swim meet that happens in Madison. It's been happening. The league started in 1962.
Yeah.
And it's been around that long. And so to all the people who are swimming this weekend, have so much fun. To all the parents.
Kicked butt again.
What?
Tacoma kicked butt again.
All right.
Yeah.
Always punching above its weight.
That's right.
But I had, up until about a couple years ago, I had the 25-meter backstroke record for 8 and unders. Literally up until like 4 or 5 years ago. It stood strong, and now it's gone. Someone finally beat me. But
There you go. I've got 2. A shout-out. Your husband, Michael Sampson's birthday this weekend.
Yep.
So happy birthday, Mike. And I know you guys are going to do something fun.
We are.
Will there be cake?
It's also his twin sister's birthday, because that's usually how
Wait, they were born on the same
Did
day?
you just dox him by saying
What are the
his
odds?
last name?
I know.
I did. Sorry about that. And mine is, no surprise, the Wisconsin State Fair. I've said over and over again, I love the fair. It's just the most fun. We're going to have Sherry Black, the CEO of the fair, on I think Monday or Tuesday of next week. But they have done things in the last. I'm looking at a revamped dairy building. The grounds, the sort of that mall area that we look out on from the fishbowl here, the Bank 59 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair, it looks so nice. And they've done such a great job. Not that they didn't do it before, but they've sort of incorporated all the good ideas when it comes to running these sorts of things. And there's a lot of people that come to this thing every day. It is sort of a destination event. I am thrilled to be here every year. I never look. Some people are like, oh, I'm excited to come to the fair.
I can't wait to actually be able to stay and hang out after the show next week.
Yeah.
Because today I got to fly.
You'll miss a beer today, but
I'll have 2 next week. How's that?
Perfect.
You're going to need
All
it
right,
after the
are
first
we
week
doing
of
2
camp.
hours next week?
Yeah, I'm in.
I don't know. Will there be enough news? He said jokingly.
There's never. The list is always long, and I'll just say thanks. It's never easy to get out here, so thanks to both Bill McCosh and Joseph Pecky for joining us every Friday on Point Taken. Fun first 2 days at the fair. We got a whole week of shows next week.
We got Bill Glover and Dan Bice on Monday.
I cannot wait to have
bunch of chuckleheads.
Bice has always got something to say.
He'll have some thoughts on the governor's race.
Oh, he will. Yes.
And on Bob Donovan, who we called out last week.
What's Glauber doing in retirement?
Golf.
I think he's playing some
golfing,
golf, yeah.
but his game has not improved. I'm not sure why that is. Because typically, you know this, when you golf more, your game gets
It's
better.
supposed to.
Not for Glauber.
Yeah.
Have you golfed with him that you know this?
I always ask him about it.
Oh.
We are scheduled to golf at some point.
4 of us got to go golfing one of these days, too.
for sure.
That's a must-have. All right, so for Kristin and Steve and Bill and Joe, have a great rest of your day. Lots of great broadcasting happening here at the Bank 59 studio at the Wisconsin State Fair. Have fun at the fair. Come and say hi. If you haven't been out here today, we'll be here all day next week. News is next.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over